This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. I'm joined over Zoom by Chase Demoor. Chase, this is our first time doing an interview. How are you?
Good, bro. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little bit tired, but it's all good. I've seemed to interrupt your run today. Where have you been running to?
Just running around the gym, actually, trying to shut off some of the pounds I put on for the Stevie fight. Just in the middle of training.
That's quite surprising. You're back in training already, though, isn't it? Only like 2 days after your fight, three
Well, I
days.
mean, technically, I'm not suspended yet, so could get a fight on '07, could get a fight in Nashville. So you got to stay in shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta stay shape. Gotta stay ready. Take me back to the very start of the Stevie fight. The game plan. Obviously, I guess you're quite nervous. What game plan did Ivan, your coach, give you?
Yeah, bro, we've been in the gym since our fight with Josh Bruckner November 19th, and so it wasn't like similar to like this situation where like I'm already obviously right back to training. It was similar to that in the Bruckner fight. Like, we started training that night. And I really, had to put everything in front of me and say like, is this something I want to do? If it is, something I need to take seriously. And so basically the game plan for Stevie was, we're gonna train hard for, the next 5 months. We're gonna erase everything you know about fighting and boxing, including the street fights. And we're gonna rebuild you from the ground up. And we worked the 1-2 jab for weeks and weeks, and then we incorporated hooks, and then we incorporated the footwork, and basically the game plan was we're gonna be the better boxer. We're gonna fight fundamental. We knew that he was a smaller guy. We knew he was inexperienced. We knew he was gonna go for a lot of haymaker knockouts, trying to get a lucky one. And so what our plan was, we're gonna keep the jab hand up. We're gonna use our reach to our advantage. We're gonna gas him out, and we're gonna get him out of there. End of the second. Start of the third round.
Okay, I guess that is what you did. To be fair, that is what you did. You got him out in the second round. Um, what went?
Got
Can
him
you
out
tell
in the
me
first round.
the first round? Can you tell me what went on there at the very, very end, though?
Yeah, basically, we're just working, and we go in there, and he threw a nice straight at me, and I rolled with it, and I threw a counter back, got him across the chin, and sent a 1-2, sent him across the ring. I had two knockdowns that fight already, so I looked at it, my coach in the corner, I heard him saying, right back to the jab, we won the round, we don't need to do anything extra. The round was won. We're 2 knockdowns into this, and we're just out of the first round. Realistically, if the fight ended right the second, like, we win. And I didn't want to win off of points. I wanted to knock out. I think that my character speaks for itself. I'm an entertainer. That's what I try to do, and I think that once I heard that click, 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 that last 10-second warning, we train that in sparring every day. We train that in the gym every day. You flurry in that last 10 seconds to win the round, and that's exactly what I did. I saw him trying to retreat and run, and the killer instinct turned on, and I was just trying to get him out of there as quick as possible.
Hmm. But then, was your kind of not excuse in this way, but was your thing of saying that the ref didn't have time to pull you off? Is that fair? Do you think?
Yeah, bro, like I'm not gonna make an excuse here. Like, obviously I should have came off of him, but like at the same time, it's misfits. All of us, we're not WBC boxers. We're not, we don't train our whole lives fighting. We do this for entertainment. And if I'm the referee and I see a much larger guy, plus like the other guy's been knocked down twice in the round already, and you see me engaging him in the last 10 seconds and him running, if I'm the referee, I would be in a better position to separate the fighters. Me, I got caught in the moment. I might have an adrenaline dump. I wasn't there essentially. I was just, throwing my punches and fighting the fight. And I, was kind of, essentially waiting for the ref to come break us up. I'm a football player, American football player. In American football, the first thing they teach you the first day of practice is you don't stop till you hear the whistle. Um, and there was no whistle, there was no bell, there was no referee separating me. I was just going, and obviously King Kenny did it in the Kingpin tournament, and even Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, that happened in their fight. The referee, thankfully, was right there to throw Tyson Fury off of him. But these things happen in fighting, and I'm not making an excuse for myself, but I'm also not going to take 100% of the blame.
Yeah. Okay. I can see where you're coming from there. Um, the celebration after was that the same one Israel Adesanya did with the kind of the bow?
Yeah, Israel Adesanya is like he's something I look up to a lot. I really like him. I like his character. I think he does a really good job. And it all stems from when people were obviously you've seen the tweets, Chase is fighting his demons. And Sonny, you've seen the anime Demon Slayer or anything like that. He gets him out there with the bow, and I thought it was like a metaphorical thing. Like the demons have been slain essentially, and what else can anybody say to me essentially? Like yes, I lost the fight, whatever, DQ, but um, I knocked out Stevie Knight, so demons were slain.
Have you ever spoken to Israel Adesanya, if he's your hero?
No, I've never got a chance to speak with him. I'm good friends with Ryan Garcia. I'm friends with Deontay Wilder. Um, Rico Von Hoven. Yeah, all these great fighters. I never got to meet Adrian Son. If I got to meet him, there's very few people I'd be starstruck with, but him and LeBron James are pretty far up there.
What would you ask him? What would you ask Israel if you never met him?
I'd ask him like, I'd ask him like, bro, how how do you deal with it when you literally beat the hell out of somebody and people still find something to say? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like in the fighting world, it takes like a true champion to be able to tell you, like, no matter what you do, people are always going to say something. Now I look at Twitter and it's like, well, Chase, if you didn't, flurry him at the end, like he would took the 8 count and got back up and this and that. And I'm sitting here going like, well, bro, first of all, there's a 3 knockdown rule. He wasn't getting back up into it anyways. Second of all, the ref was not giving him a 8 count. It was, dude, eyes rolled into the back of his head. And thirdly, like I feel like as a heel, as the villain of Misfits Boxing, I feel like people watch my fights not in the sense of like, oh, he's developed as a boxer, he's gotten better, he's gotten worse. They watch it in the sense of when is Chase gonna fuck this up and when can we meme it? You know what I mean? I was a prelim on the card and had the most views on my fight, you know what I mean? And I think that speaks for itself, whether they're good or bad. There's really no such thing as bad publicity, I guess. But the game plan was and always was to show that I've improved as a boxer. And anybody who says that I haven't improved as a boxer is purely just hating at this point. I went from missing swings to beating the literal lights out of somebody, in the first round. So
Definitely, I think it's fair to say you have improved as a boxer. One thing that came out, I believe it was before fight night actually, was a poster of you and Tyson Fury on it. Misfits actually posted it, so it wasn't a fan edit. What was going on there?
I got a signed deal with to fight Tyson Fury in an exhibition match. Obviously, with a fight suspension, I don't think it's going to be happening. But I was ready to go knock out the goat. I was gonna, I knock him out. What are people gonna say? They'll be like, you don't got a shot in hell knocking Tyson Fury out. But let me tell you about heavyweights. Look at Stevie Knight. It took one punch. It took one punch. I hit that dude probably 3 times and he ate him, whatever. But it took really one good punch and he was out of there. Who's to say, Tyson Fury doesn't take a fight against me and I get a lucky slip in there and I get a 2 across and all of a sudden I'm the WBC world champ of the world. That probably piss a lot of people off, but there is a very, very small possibility that could have happened.
So there's one thing about the Tyson Fury exhibition. So was there anything there at all, or was that just Misfits memeing it?
No, it was just Misfits memeing it. Like they feed into the character. They love it too. So I think they did a great job with that. I think when they posted that flyer within like 6 hours, it had 7 million impressions. Like it was something ridiculous, bro. It was viral across the board. I posted on my TikTok, it hit like 2 million in a day views. Like it was ridiculous.
I mean, because normally it's the fan pages and the fans making those sort of posters. I think Gio Traube is the guy on Twitter making those sort of fan posters, but it's never actually the boxing promotion that ever posts a fake fan poster. I think it's the first boxing promotion or verified boxing promotion that's done that. So Misfits definitely kind of stepped over the line, but I guess any publicity is good publicity, as you say. But for yourself,
I
OJ, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I mean, if you read the post, it clearly comes off as a meme. Like if you look at the poster, it has like a bunch of fake dates on there. It also has the goat Demoor has accepted a fight against the number one contender. Like if you really read it, like it's clearly a meme. But I think like obviously during the fight week, they're bringing a lot of attention towards Misfits Six, and I don't know if you got to see like any of the press conferences, the weigh-ins, or anything like that, open workouts, but majority of that was, I feel like Misfits Six kind of got overshadowed a bit with '07. So like they were trying to bring attention back to '06 a little bit, and like obviously like none of these fighters are really selling their fights, and that's what I was really working hard to do.
I saw the press conference where you had the whistle, where you blew the whistle and made everyone go quiet. Did it work?
Of course, man. I came in there. I was actually a blowhorn. I gave my whole squad. Well, everybody on my team had blowhorns, so we were ready to go. I also blasting him with silly string.
It's fair enough. If it works, then it works. You've frozen on me,
Oh my
Chase.
god.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry about
There we go.
that.
I
My
mean,
back.
yeah, you're back, you're back. I mean, if that's fair enough, if it works, then it works. But for yourself, though, coming up, do you believe there will be a suspension? Have you spoken to Mams about it at all? Or do you think they'll let it off for this time?
I don't think they're going to let it off. There's definitely going to be some sort of punishment. I know there's meetings this week about it. As of right now, I'm not suspended. You can check box rec. That's a fact. I've spoken with Mans and the Misfits teams multiple times about it. Obviously, they're not happy with how the situation panned out, but there are a lot of outlining factors that go with that. Like obviously, in the moment, you have to consider all like those smaller details of things, such as like experience of the fighter, um, the level of the venue, the adrenaline drive. Plus, like obviously, like the referee does have a big factor in that. Yes, it's my fault. I threw the flurries, but the whole point of the third man in the ring is to provide safety to the fighters. The first rule of boxing is protect yourself at all times. The boxer was unable to protect himself, and the referee wasn't there to help him either. What was the point of having a ref in the ring if he was just going to be behind me? And Stevie was falling very slowly down the ropes, and the guy was counting, and there's like a lot of stuff. Like, but like I said, like we're both equally at fault. Or what I'm all I'm saying, Fred, is like I'm not taking 100% of the blame. I'll take 75% of that blame. But like definitely some blame needs to be thrown at that referee. Like it's almost criminal how he didn't step in there and protect Stevie.
The referee was slow. I will give you that. That's fair enough. The referee was very slow. They're very slow or very late. Sorry, they're very slow or late on fight night. I think there are a couple of stoppages which they could have stopped a little bit earlier or a little bit sooner. So that's fair enough. But yourself, though, you called out a few people in the post-fight interview. One we'll talk about is Josh Bruckner. He needs an opponent. He's having a baby soon, so I think he'll probably give it maybe then the start of next year, probably be out again. Is that rematch
I
on your
don't
mind?
care. I don't care when he wants it. I don't care what way. If he wants to fight at 200, I'll starve myself to get down to 200. I think I took that fight against a guy that nobody wanted to fight, a guy who had 20 plus years of fight experience. Like everybody was ducking this guy, and I took it with 2 weeks notice, no experience. I said I would do it. And I think, as a man, like what I was getting about of that is like that man had me memed for 5 months. It's a personal thing. It's a vendetta. I think that, if I'm willing to take a fight against you after 2 weeks notice and get memed for 5 months, the least you could do is pick a weight, pick a date, and see me there.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'll talk to Josh. I'll get him on an interview soon, and I'll definitely bring up my name. Apart from Josh, anyone else you reckon?
Yeah, I want Greg Hardy.
Okay.
Everybody laughs. Everybody laughs. Like, you don't want Greg Hardy because he beat up Hasim Rockman, who is the size difference between me and Stevie. Like Hasim Rockman and Stevie are the same size. Hasim Rockman's a little bit bigger than Stevie, but Greg Hardy's a lot bigger than than me. I think that he beat up a guy much smaller than him. I beat up a guy smaller than me, and I'm not scared of anybody. And everybody thinks like he's this animal, but like last time I checked, he got knocked out in bare knuckle. The only certified knockout that guy has is battering charge that he got in the NFL, beating up his girlfriend. And so if he wants to breathe heavy into the Misfits camera and say like calling him out is a death threat, then bro, I'm signing off on that death warrant. He's gonna have to see me. I think that's gonna be a pay-per-view fight. I want to headline it, and I'll see Greg Hardy at whatever weight he wants. If he wants to fight 6 rounds, if he wants to fight 8 rounds, I'm not scared of him.
There we go, Chase. You know how to cut a promo. We'll give you that. Speaking of promos, actually, before I let you go, I heard Keemstar, or you must have said a Keemstar one time, that you had a WWE audition at one point in time, or you got offered one. Is that true?
Yes, sir. I was offered a WWE contract last December, right after the Bruckner fight. Actually, I actually flew from the fight straight over to Tampa. I mean, and had a trial with WWE. It was 3 days. They offered me a spot on their roster, but like, the problem with it is you actually don't start out in the WWE. You start out with what's called the NXW or NXT or some shit like that.
NXT. NXT.
Yeah, yeah. And basically, they wanted a complete relocation to Orlando, and it was like a 6 day a week schedule, and I just didn't have time for it, man. Not right now, not with like the boxing, the football, the TV. It just would have never worked.
In the future, it's still a possibility though, or you reckon it's off the grid?
If they let me have a WrestleMania main event against Logan Paul, then we'll talk about
Daniel talk, blimey.
it.
Awesome. No, that's great. I appreciate you coming on. I'm sure you're getting quite a few interview requests, so I do appreciate you coming on the channel. But where can people find you on social media wise? No, Chase. Where can they find
At
you?
at Chase Demoor on all channels. So I appreciate the time, Fred.
Awesome. Awesome. That's so good. Thanks, Chase. That's amazing.
Cheers, bro.